He's back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Buffalo SportsCenter. I am Don, and today we are seeing some breaking news from the Buffalo Sabres. They have hired their next head coach after firing and dismissing Don Granato. The Sabres' next head coach, as you probably know already, will be Lindy Ruff. Yes, that Lindy Ruff. He is back in Buffalo, baby. Ruff, who spent a long-ass time with the Buffalo Bills. His previous tenure was from 1997 all the way up until 2013. It was a very fruitful one. The Sabres made the playoffs nearly every season outside of 7. But wow. Okay, yeah, this is surprising as well. I did not anticipate that Buffalo would actually bring back Lindy Ruff. He has been a legend here in Buffalo. He was, of course, a player back in the 1970s and 80s. Then he became the head coach in 1997, led the Sabres to the Stanley Cup Finals, lost out 1999 on the no goal by Brett Hull. And then after that, the Sabres were a perennial Cup contender. And under his reign was the last time the Sabres were ever relevant. 2006-07, the Chris Drew, Danny Briere days. Yeah, Lindy Ruff was the coach for that too. Marty Baron, Rob Ray, both of these guys are broadcasting now for the Sabres. They were both players under Lindy Ruff. Yeah, this is a lot of nostalgia here for the Buffalo Sabres. But it's not just about nostalgia that makes me like the rehiring of Lindy Ruff. It's his experience, it's the discipline that he brings to the organizations that he's coached. Now, I know that he's been a little raked through the mud recently, so to speak. With Dallas, I thought he was okay, but the team was kind of mid. They didn't have consistent goaltending for most of it, Kerry Lettinen and Ben Bishop later on in his tenure, but in New Jersey, he was picking up the pieces for a team that was kind of in crisis management mode. They were still in the midst of their lengthy playoff drought. They hadn't been relevant in years. They had a lot of young guys on the roster. So the Devils hired Lindy Ruff to be their development coach, so to speak, and it was not great the first 2 seasons. Then his third year, they really broke out as a team. They picked up 50 wins, beat the New York Rangers in the first round, and then lost in 5 to the Carolina Hurricanes in the second round. But still, the Devils had gone somewhere, finally. They hadn't just won 50 games, they won a playoff series over their arch nemesis as well. So things were really looking up for Lindy in year 3 going into year 4. The only problem was, in year 4, things really kind of screwed up for Lindy Ruff and the New Jersey Devils. They had subpar goaltending. Many of the guys that had previously broken out, such as Dawson Mercer and such, they had regressed. Major injuries to Jack Hughes, Vitek Vanacek, Nico Dawes, not good enough in net as well. As I mentioned, subpar goaltending really doomed Lindy Ruff, and eventually Ruff did lose the confidence of the fan base. I remember many times, especially if you look at Barstool Sports and Frank the Tank, yeah, they did not love Lindy Ruff in New Jersey. They did not in Newark. So he was quickly out. He was dismissed 3/4 of the way through the season amidst, well, they were a little bit out of the playoff picture, but they never really threatened. And once they fired Ruff, Travis Green stepped in. The team didn't really improve. It looked like they had given up. They had failed. They knew it as well. They shut Jack Hughes down, and the Devils missed the playoffs. So it was a very disappointing end to Lindy Ruff's tenure in New Jersey, but he's back in Buffalo. And as I mentioned, he had a lengthy tenure before going to Dallas and the Devils. He returns to Buffalo. As you can see, he's one of the best head coaches in Sabres history, one of the most infamous as well. Now, for all of those looking for a long-term fix at the head coaching position, I'm not really sure that's what you were going to get, but Kevin Adams did serve on the staff of Lindy Ruff, so I guess if you want to call it a boys club in Buffalo, yeah, there's a lot of connections. It's who you know, I suppose, but that's kind of how life is. But if you ask me, I'm really excited that Lindy is back. I think he will bring accountability, discipline, structure, all 3 things a playoff team needs to succeed. The Sabres didn't really have any of that last season. Sure, Don Granato, they loved him. The offense was good in the first season, but the defense wasn't there. And a big thing about Lindy Ruff's teams are that they are physical and they forecheck really, really well. And again, guess what the Sabres didn't do great under Don Granato? It was those 2 things. So I think Lindy Ruff will be fantastic in Buffalo. Does it kind of, for Sabres fans, it's another retread of, yeah, I guess. But you know what you have with Lindy. He's done it before here. Why can't he do it again? And if he's going to fail and you're going to kick him out in 2 years, why not bring in a familiar face? The fan base already likes this guy. He has some cushion here with the fan base. He's going to get bums in seats, I think. That's all the qualities Kevyn Adams was looking for in his next head coach. Lindy will do that for you. Now, I understand that some fans will be disappointed that the Sabres are just turning the clocks back again. And for those in the national media, I also will assume that they're going to be questioning this move, saying the Buffalo, we're not in the early 2000s anymore. Move on. Get with the future. But to all that criticism, let me ask you something. Wasn't Don Granato supposed to be that guy? Wasn't he supposed to be that guy that pushes the Sabres forward? He was. And, to a certain extent, he did. But now Lindy is a proven playoff winner. He has gotten this franchise to the playoffs so many times already in his career. He can do it again. And he's picking up a similar situation in Buffalo as he did in New Jersey a couple years ago back in 2020. The Sabres are, yes, and I know a lot of people don't like hearing it now, they are a young team, lots of potential, and unlike New Jersey at the time, they have a proven top core of forwards and defensemen. Lindy will be inheriting a situation much better than the one he inherited in New Jersey. So all of that gives me a whole lot of optimism about Lindy and the Sabres. I don't think this is a forced reunion. I think this is a necessary one. This is a necessary reunion for Lindy Ruff and the Buffalo Sabres organization, and I think that the results next year will prove it. I am very excited that he's back. I'm so happy that, he's led Buffalo. You want a blue-collar coach, you got it right here with Lindy Ruff. He's going to bring grit and toughness to this team. Both things this team has sorely lacked, as I've mentioned a number of times already in this video. They have lacked the toughness to really compete and take their game to the next level. Lindy will get you that. Lindy will push this team, and I think he can get this team back to the playoffs. But folks, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I was Don. This is Buffalo SportsCenter. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, and I hope to see all of you in the next video. Peace out.